Oh. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to a Winter Storm coverage live stream and debriefing and crap on the Royal NYR 54 channel. I hope you all are having a fantastic evening, as I should say here. It is 11 p.m. my time, 23 o'clock. Winter Storm Avery, and it's starting to find its wheels here as it heads south along Wyoming right now. As you can see, I have Weather Channel radar pulled up here. Please ignore that. It's because I want to be able to have a grand scheme of things as opposed to just a frickin' bubble this size. So for right now, we are using this radar thing. But just taking a look at radar obs right now, you can see with those temperatures starting to cool down as it does get later in the night, snow is becoming a lot more the main form of precipitation here across the majority of Wyoming right now as we speak. You can also see a little blotch of snow going on towards Rapid City in South Dakota, and there is still some snow lingering in the higher elevations of Montana right now as well. So this stream, I have a few different intentions here. One, I wanted to brief it what's going on right now and what could be going on. Two, I want to look at several different model runs, several different observations, and see what everything is going on at this current moment in time. And I just really want to get the best possible information I can out. So again, radar obs right now, you can see the main form of precipitation is turning over into snow. As we also do have some heavier rain over by Rapid City as well, in combination with the snows. We have a little bit of a boundary going down right there on temperature differentials. So that is definitely something you need to keep in mind, as I completely screw up what I was going to do there. I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this. You are big suck. Thank you, Jensen. I do appreciate that very much. I'm going to scroll up in chat now. Wait, there's a fucking winter storm in September. Welcome to, welcome to 2020. It is September the 7th, the night of September the 7th. I start school tomorrow, and here we are with a winter storm. So, hello, I am here existing. Good. Glad you're with us. Here's Sup Trey. Hey Ginger. I gotta go in a minute, that's fine. Ew, Snow, he is the big suck. Yeah, I saw that, Butters. Good job trying to retract that, but it's too late. It's too late. Snow bad, snow stink. Well, you know, as a person whose favorite seasons are fall and winter, saying that to me is not going to change one damn thing. So, we're taking a look at everything right now here. You can see the main form is nearly snow at this point as temperatures do start to dip. That is not what I wanted. As temperatures do start to dip below freezing. That does not look like the right surface obs. Oh, no, actually it is. I was looking too far. Well, I was looking at the 80s in Washington. But as you can see, just across the board here, we are getting temperatures well in the range of freezing, and definitely in the wind chills below freezing, which means you can't get, ignore this, the front hasn't reached that yet, as well as several different areas below this that will turn to freezing as well. I would like to point out that Denver was 96 today. Cheyenne, Wyoming was 91. Both of the Cheyenne is now in the high 30s with a light rain falling. Denver is still in the 60s if I remember correctly, but it is getting there. Why are you not using WeatherBug like the Weather Channel's trash? Because I wasn't thinking about that right now. Light snow is quite normal. This isn't light. This is not light snow. Snow is fun, I agree. Waiting for the flakes, I mean, shouldn't take that long depending on your location. Snownado. Yeah, please. That would be very 2020. This isn't 50 inches of snow, big bad. I don't think it'll be 50 inches of snow, but I think it could easily be 2 feet. Just because the intensity of it is supposed to ramp up as time moves along. And particularly speaking, everything going on. Wow, so you can see the temperatures are actually starting to dip here, which was a spot that was, I believe, mid-high 50s a minute ago or so. I'd have to double check that, but that is, temperatures are definitely on the dip here as this cold front extends south. With that being said, I would like to go to this and just read this out really quickly. An ominously strong cold front is rapidly pushing south across southeast Wyoming and the western Nebraska Panhandle, rapidly decreasing temperatures into the 30s. Behind the front will combine for winds for wind chill temperatures in the 20s through 30s before midnight tonight. Gusty north to northeast winds 45 to 50 miles per hour will continue through the afternoon and evening. Rain is expected to begin falling shortly by 6 p.m. Mountain across the north converse to nearby counties and spread south from there. Expect a quick transition to snow with the following temperatures. Could see thunder snow across portions of the high plains before 9 p.m. Winter weather advisories and winter storm warnings are still on track to go into effect at midnight tonight for most of the region. Please see your local warnings and advisories for further details. So, everything just going on right now is combining for a very dangerous swing in temperatures. I will get to whatever the NAM is saying in a minute. But you can see the temperatures are definitely on the dip here. As you can see, you're seeing 28, 32, 33, 34. So they are definitely a lot colder, with dews nearly at that same temperature, making for a very, very wet snow. And keep in mind, temperatures in Colorado still in the 80s, because why not? 95. Christ. So let us now take a look at the NAM. And several different wall runs tonight, and whatever the hell might happen tonight and into the next few days. So if we scroll along through the Mao total snowfall, you can see the NAM is very consistent about a few different spots in the higher elevations receiving more snowfall than the rest. So you can definitely outline the mountains here. This is decently widespread, though. We're talking about a foot, potentially more, across the majority of the areas affected here, unless you're frickin' northeast Nebraska. What in the frick is that? But you can see we're talking 35 inches, according to the Kachera run here, which would be very important. Which is the most better. The most better. Someone clip that. The most better. Which would be the most. I was gonna say it again. The best thing to use in this case is it totals all snow that would fall, rather it stay or melt for X amount of time. So we're talking up to 3 feet, which is definitely reasonable considering how this storm is supposed to slow by the time it gets to these elevations. So you're seeing nearly 20s and 30s of inches of snow falling over these areas after it starts to stall out. Particularly speaking here, we're talking about what's going to be a very serious storm as it moves south with a big temperature dip, big cool down that will end up being widespread across most of the country. Temps be like 65 temp drop in 5 hours, yeah. Elias, I'm going to have to mute you if you keep going on that, because I'm trying to focus here, so it is what it is. I need to make a snow color table on GR2. Nate sent me his, so I'll forward it to you. So scrolling through the NAM 3K, it is also on board with that, but it also goes completely psycho as it gets towards 55 inches. 61. There you go. That is moment for the epics, or moment for the ages. So that is 61 inches up and down the Rockies there, and as you go up here you can see 40s again, then 40s expanding down the mountains. I'm not taking this seriously. I'm really just taking the 10 to 1 here. So I'm just going to look at the 10 to 1 for this, and you can see it is a lot more modest, although it does still say 40s up there. But you're getting a lot of teens and 20s of inches of snow as it goes up and down. Is that total? Yeah, I'm scrolling to the end of the runs here, just to get the total amount that will fall over this time. This is basically it. You may get isolated extra snow, but it won't be too big. And this is the majority of the storm. So yes, 61 inches right there as seen by that. Very, to put into perspective, 61 inches is probably up to my nose. So, welcome to the life of a short person with yours truly, Morgan Fold. Let's keep going through different runs here. I'm actually going to use the HRRR because it is in close enough proximity at this point where we can gauge everything based on this run. And the HRRR is also on board with the fact that the storm is going to stall over the southern Rockies and it's just going to dump. So we're talking 51 inches, just over 4 feet there. Good GFS, I will. More is it possible is going to reach the Texas Panhandle. So, with that being said, I will go to something that the GFS has been showing for everything here. But what we are talking about here is a storm that on the mile runs has been showing receding. So, the snowfall totals will go up in Colorado and recede. It won't really drop as much in Oklahoma and Texas. 1 foot in the mountains at max and 4 to 6 at the surface. Jensen, you're high. I'm sorry, but it's already dropped 4 to 6 at the surface up here in Wyoming, and it's just really getting to this point. As it gets down here, it's really going to dump, and a foot at the mountains. The mountains likely have already seen more than 1 foot because of how high they're up and how high and the and how heavy the snow should be falling up there at this current time. You're probably going to see double, if not triple that, what could be happening in specific areas. This is quite localized, so the heavier snowfall amounts are definitely going to be localized to certain areas. But with everything going on, you could likely see 2 or 3 feet. And I will go through my predictions at the end of the stream or at the end of whatever we're looking at here. Let's take a look at the GFS for this, and we'll just really analyze this, and I want to point something out. So the 18Z run is very confident on widespread 40-plus inches of rain across these parts of the Rockies here. So we can see 49 right there extending all the way down, 47 there, 46, 45, but really a lot of extraneous snowfall coming down here, and it even reaches the New Mexico border and continues to dump. So from what it looks like, the majority of this snow may come down in the southern Rockies, south central Rockies. Basically, after it passes Denver going on up here, it looks like it might just go into a downward thing. Whatever here. This is just Rockies snowfall, basically, yeah. GFS is cold bias in Texas still doesn't get anything, but I could see snowfall. And if I see snowfall in Tennessee, I'm thunder snow chasing that bitch. Well, the run or whatever statement I had pulled up earlier did mention thunder snow. So imagine using GFS. What else am I gonna say? Did I say 45 inches of rain? God bless the United States. 45 inches of snow. I'm tired. I spent the whole day in a car, and I spent 30 minutes sitting on Interstate 78 across the border of Pennsylvania and New Jersey. We were sitting there for about 30 minutes because there was some sort of big accident going on, and everything was closed. So I'm in some sort of mood right now, and I'm also quite tired. And I have school tomorrow, and we are going to just have fun with that. I'm just checking back here, making sure there isn't anything. Yeah, I'm going to get into all IMBot things a little bit later on. But I would like to just point something out here. So I'm going to scroll back to the point where I see the snowfall totals just stop. I'll just go hour 120 just to be safe. So, frick. Okay, so Modeltrons. I'm going to go back on this because it's something very important. We use the HRRR 3 months out here. There is no meme. I want to look at this really quickly just to identify something here and something that has been quite important. So let's go to the latest few runs here. So you can see at this particular run, not a whole lot of snowfall. I mean, in the upper elevations, you're talking about nearly 2 feet, but coming down closer to the surface, you're not seeing a whole lot, except for this little line that moves through Kansas, Oklahoma, and Texas. You can see something starts to, you can see that, so I would just want to pay attention to that line going forward in time. You can see new frame. It is receded, and snowfall totals have gone up generally. Next run, it's receded again. Snowfall totals have gone up significantly over these particular areas of the Rockies and on the New Mexico border. So Nate pointed this out to me last night, and I just want to relay this because he's not going to frickin' stream snow. He has better things to do with his time. But keep going. You can see it recedes and goes up again, 46 inches. So with that all being said, you can see where everything's really coming from here, and it's consolidated more and gone up even more. So the likelihood seems to be that this thing wants to stall out almost over those parts of the Rockies and just keep dumping. And I will show Precip in a little bit to further prove that point. But it looks like that this thing has a plan of stalling out over the south central Rockies rather, and on the border of New Mexico, we could see inches upon feet maybe of rain, snow. We could see anywhere from, so I will get into my predictions later. I'm not going to say we could see anywhere from this to this. I'll just say it at the end. Total accumulated freezing rain, I also want to point that out because it's something that is also very important for travel constraints. So in this run, it does seem to have more just shot up in generally. So as the temperatures start to go up again as it gets closer to the border, you can see freezing rain starts to become a very common occurrence. You can see up to an inch in spots, which is quite dangerous for travel conditions. So you do need to keep that in mind if you happen to live down here. You're going to have to be really, really careful when it comes to that. So at this point, I would like to go to precip type and rate. So at this moment, we are speaking about a 989 setting over the Rockies and setting down as it sets up for this system tonight. So take a look at this. You can see snowfall does actually consolidate a little bit. So as it gets closer to Denver, you can see it actually gets a little bit smaller. Heavier spots are there. You can see it's snow behind the front completely as well. You can see heavier snow. That would be west and southwest of Boulder, Colorado there. You can see a bunch of snow falling there as well. And then as time goes along, you can see it really starts to ramp up here. So you can see snow really starts to increase in totals, and that will be the real determining factor of how much snow ends up falling over that part of the Rockies. And you can see a lot of rain as well. That's going to be something we might need to watch for potential severe weather. Is something that we've also been seeing. I would also like to look at the 10-meter winds, because what's been shown from this is that we could have a potential blizzard on our hands. And the reason being is that if the snow can actually get into a decent speed and not outrun the strong winds, which will be behind the front, if the snow and winds can pace themselves, we will be talking about heavy snowfall and potentially blizzard conditions as well as it starts to blow around. If we take a look at just a few different areas here, you can see, yes, precip type rain there. Surface temperature is 32 degrees, but the dew point is 27, so you could talk about wet snow there, but regardless, that will be blowing rain, which would be dangerous in of itself. Let's take a look at temperatures, and at this point I'm going to move out to national areas just to take a look at everything here. But as you can see, as it starts to surge down, really cold temperatures starting to go on up and down the Rockies and up through Montana and down through New Mexico, and even up here there's a spot of 23 in California. Things you love to see. So you can see it gets down to 6 up here in Wyoming, but then across the board it's really 20s and teens for the most part. If we take a look at wind chill and heat index, because you're factoring in the strong wind that's going to be going on with this, you can see it gets extremely cold, or it will feel extremely cold rather. You can see -6, -7, -8 right there, just as you go up and down. -3, lot of sub-zero, a lot of sub-zero wind chills going on here, with the front moving through and the strong winds behind it. It's going to create for some very cold feeling temperatures at the very least. And you can see throughout the day, it really doesn't get warmer. The wind chill remains at -5 on the border of Utah and Wyoming at that point. So that is definitely something interesting as well. And you can even see it gets even a little bit colder that night as well. Excuse me. You can also see scattered wind chills below freezing going on in the northern plains. So you're talking Minnesota, North Dakota, maybe even Wisconsin as well. And you can see this huge front that will be bringing colder conditions in general to the areas. As time goes along, I'm just going to go through this. As time goes along, you can see we get a little bit of a heat up again going on just across the country, except for the northern areas of Michigan and Wisconsin. You can see we get a bit of a heat up, and it starts to peak up again there in the mid to high 80s, talking over the northern plains. And this thing, I'll get to that in a little bit as well. You can see it actually does remain reasonably cold or reasonably chilly up there. I'm actually going to switch to temperature because that's more accurate to use in this case. Didn't realize I was not using that. But as you can see, temperatures actually really only get up into the 70s, which isn't bad, but it will be a humid heat, so it will feel like a lot more. You can see after that, colder temperatures start to surge down towards the northeast, and you can see sub-freezing wind chills going on in the higher elevations of New Hampshire and north and western Maine. You can see we get another cold inception going down the Rockies there, and then a really big heat up, except for areas up and down the mountains here in the Appalachians, but a really general heat up of mid to high 70s across most of the country, which is something to note. And then you can see, because it is fall at this point, we're talking about colder temperatures just up and down across the board for the Rockies and surrounding areas. That's neat, and that's a nice cold front. Things you'll love to see. Let's take a look at precip type and rate. And you can see that the snow just sticks around there. It just doesn't go away, which will be the leading factor for more snowfall in the area until said whenever time. Going forward as well, you can see more snow scattered, and a big cold front extends southward towards the northeast. And then we have a new low, and oh my god, this looks dangerous. This is going to be something that needs to be monitored. This has just showed up. This could be mental. Just take a sounding in the middle of that sleet and snow. That's very nice. So, at this point, there isn't really a whole lot to cover here at this point. I've gone through the majority of it. If you have any questions, please do not hesitate to ask. Not really looking at Streamlabs at this particular moment in time. If we go through IEMbot here, you can see a lot of red flag warnings, hard freeze warnings as well. So you can just see, I'll actually go to Cheyenne here for an example. Freeze warnings, dense fog advisories, winter storm warnings and advisories, and watches, and freeze warnings and watches. Just, we have it all right now. So that is definitely something ridiculous that you need to keep in mind as well. If you scroll up here, you can see red flag warnings, things you love to see. So it is making the big transition to snow now as we speak. Pretty heavy, actually, around Pavilion and up and down United States Route 26. Decently heavy there. You can see a spot here, 40 dBZs for snow. That is pretty heavy. Yeah, it's something that needs to just be kept an eye on. As it spreads down towards the Rockies, it will likely get stronger. So you're gonna have to keep that in mind. Morgan, can you check the velocity? It is pretty gusty actually across the board here, so you can see getting gusts in the 60s. Then pretty close to the radar, you're seeing sustained winds 30 to 40, maybe even 50 miles per hour in spots. Would not be surprised if you're seeing gusts in excess of 60 at this current moment in time. This would warrant a blizzard warning, and we could actually see blizzard warnings and watches as it heads further down the Rockies tonight and tomorrow. So that is also something to keep in mind. You can see up here stronger velocities, 30, 40, even 50 in spots. So that is definitely something to keep in mind. Do got a lot of winds going on with this. And in fact, there could even be some little embedded rotations, particularly here and here. See something may be trying to incept itself. And that may be just a higher elevation, but we can dream. Snow NATOs. If there are no other questions, I likely will end the stream here, because I do have a few things to do in preparation for school tomorrow and other things. So September is upon us, ladies and gents, in the form of winter, snow, and school. Things you love to see. And Rot do be having some fun. God, if there was any virtually integrated liquid, I would lose faith in humanity. Ugh. See you, Morgan. Take care. So, I will end stream here. Thank you all so much for tuning into this winter weather coverage and debriefing. If you guys did have any, or if you guys did enjoy this, please be sure to leave a like rating down below. Also, hit the subscribe button if you guys are new around here, and click the notification bell if you guys want to be notified every time I go live. I could go live tomorrow as well to see what's going on in the Rockies and Southern Rockies, but we'll see what happens. But for now, I'm going to end this here. Thank you all so much for tuning in. My name is Morgan, I go by Royal Wire 54, and I will see you guys in the next severe weather coverage or winter weather coverage live stream. Tornado watch for Denver tomorrow? Yeah, Take care. Peace out.